here. Smart fit as well. I don't think the penguins are gonna fit. Nah, penguins won't fit as well. I'll have to do those separately. It's okay.
There. All right, we're live on Mograph TV.
Yay!
All right. Sorry, it took me a second.
Hours.
All right.
What's up, everybody? We're getting set up for the live show here. Thanks for joining us on the live stream or on Mograph TV. We're getting ready to do a little show. Really good show.
Really good shoe.
Just putting out the bat signal and things. Really good show. All right. That's out. Let's get that bat signal, though. Where are you, bat signal? Bat signal channel. Hello, channel.
Who designed the 3D? Never mind. We should talk about this on the show.
Yeah. Save it.
All right.
You gotta save it. All right. Looks like we're good. Who's here? Who's here? Got Paul and Jeremy and Paul. What's up, yo? How's it going? All right. I think we're doing this now. If y'all are good, I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. Y'all let me know when you are recording.
All right. I'm recording.
Test 1 2 1 2. I am rolling.
Awesome, awesome. All right. We're going to do a sync clap, which will be 1 2 3 clap. Here we go.
All right.
1 2 3. Good.
Pretty good.
All right.
Perfect. Couldn't have been any better.
Flawless. So far, so good.
Got all
So
the
far,
things.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So far,
Show-
good podcast. Yeah.
The show has not gone off the rails yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Give it time.
I've got my notes ready to go. I think we are good. And yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Ready? Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us today is our good friend, Mr. Gavin Shapiro.
Hey, how's it going?
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, artist suggestions, topic ideas. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Hi, TikTok. Mograph.com. Check us out on all the things. Send us an email. If you have a question about motion graphics, technical or artistic, something about the industry, something noob, something expert, doesn't matter what it is, send us an email. info@mograph.com, and we'd love to talk about it. You are the producer.
If you're going to ask for an invite to the Slack or the Discord or something, you can do that as well. Just make sure and just add in your email address.
Well, since you're emailing us, we'll know what that is. So email us if you'd like that. And if you would like to get in the Discord, too. Now, the Discord does have all the same channels as the Slack. However,
it's not as active as the
right.
Slack, but it
Right.
is the place where a lot of us
hang
a
during
lot
the
of us
day.
hang on video and stuff,
hang
which is
during the
fun.
day.
So
Yeah.
if you want to hang out with your two favorite podcast hosts, feel free to
Feel free to go to the Grayscale Gorilla Discord. If you do join us, don't feel like you're interrupting if you enter the Discord. A lot of people come in for the first time.
They're
they
like,
haven't used Discord.
and then they hang out.
They don't even know they're going to the video channel and they go straight to it and it's like and we're like, hey, what's up? And they don't say anything and they disappear. It's like no,
Gone
no.
immediately. Yeah.
No, we're not doing anything important. Just say hi. It's fine.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Nothing is ever important.
We're literally there all the time. So just like,
Like literally, that's where Dave and I run our company.
Yeah. Oh no, it's great. It's like, hey Matt, you get that invoice? Oh, let me get that invoice and take care of
Yeah.
that. And like everyone else is just like Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if you want to see how a motion design studio does their work,
Right.
just come hang out on the Discord.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, there's some week wrap-up stuff that we got to get to before we
Let's
get
do
into the
it.
meat of the show. Just wanted to mention a few things. Number one, is there any camp information that
No
we
camp
need to know about?
information
Okay.
right now. No.
Now, just to reiterate, for those of you who don't know, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We've made some announcements recently. I don't know if you want to just quickly go over those. Just
Sure,
to
let's go over some quick Camp Mograph stuff. We're super excited. Okay, first of all, the date is the September 15th through the 19th of this year. It's at Camp Silver Beach in Virginia, which is exciting. We're going to be on the beach, which is great.
Yep.
Tickets go on sale April 20th at noon Central Time. So make sure and be prepared. That's a little over a month away. And so
easy date to remember.
Easy dates, right? You know, unless
420 blazing.
You've been partaken of some stuff on that day, and you might forget. Make sure and set an alarm.
Yeah.
It's I've got a feeling it's going to sell out pretty quick, so make sure and get in it. And then you can subscribe campmograph.com to get all the updates. We're going to be doing teacher announcements here soon. We haven't lined up all of our workshop instructors and all of our speakers yet, but we have a lot of them, so we're going to be announcing those soon. As well as like pictures of like the cabins and stuff like that, because there are 2 separate cabins. That's the first time that's been said, being offered. They're wildly different, so just make sure. And some of them are very limited quantity, so not quality, quantity. So make sure and sign up at campmograph.com to get all the updates. And huge shout out to all of our sponsors. First off, our global sponsor, Otoy. Otoy is like the big sponsor for the event. We're super excited to have them on board. They are presenting Camp Mograph. So Otoy, thank you so much for that. And then 2 of our village sponsors, both Maxon and Video Copilot. Huge shout out to them. Without any of these sponsors, we could not make the tickets as cheap as they are. And so we're super excited to have them on board. Camp Mograph, yay! That's it. That's all I got.
So don't forget, 420.
Thomas, if it doesn't have a round door, I don't want it.
Yeah. 420. Don't forget. Set an alarm just in case. You remember that? You remember that the weed song from like back in the day?
No.
It was on the radio. I was gonna go to Camp Mograph.
Oh,
but I got high.
Right.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yep.
Set that alarm. All right. Other things we want to talk about. Number 1, NAB is coming up quick. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. I have a really good feeling that there will not be a cancellation this time.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to cancel it this time.
Yeah.
I think we've hit a good lull in COVID. To where it's like, okay, we may be able to do it. This may be the epicenter of the new, increase in
It's the eye of the hurricane.
Right, it's the eye of the hurricane.
Yeah.
But that's okay. At least we'll get to have one last hurrah before we all get sick.
Yeah. Or get nuked. You just don't know.
Or get nuked,
I mean,
it's a crazy world we're living in right now.
Yeah. YOLO, go to get NAB. That's, Here's the thing. It's March 7th today. Okay, so it's only like 5-6 weeks away. Yeah. And so if you are planning, though, you're probably like, okay, well, when do I need to be there? Where do I need to stay? What are the parties I need to go to? Oh, I've never been there before. I have no idea what I'm doing. So Matt and I are going to do a short video on this, hopefully tomorrow. We
better do it tomorrow. Yeah,
we have to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to do that in taxes tomorrow. That's all we got.
We're going to try and get EJ on the line too and just talk about everything that people do at NAB, just to give you an idea, because you can get really good deals on airfare and everything else. This is totally worth it. What we used to say, and I don't know how much this applies because times are changing and I don't know how many people are going to show up, but what we used to say is that NAB will accelerate your networking within your own business by
100%.
a year. by going to NAB. It is that valuable. Now,
Yeah.
will it be like that from now on? I hope, but yeah. What
especially right now, you know, like Gavin, we've known you for 2 years. We have not met you even once, you know, and it's like
true.
I had no idea you were 6'6".
Yeah, that's a fun surprise. People are like, "What? I had no idea."
Yeah.
And so it's it especially in the now times, being able to actually go out and meet people and stuff like that, it's great.
It must be nice online because you don't have the people asking you every minute. Do you play basketball?
Yeah, how's the weather up there?
Do you get that? Yeah.
All the time, constantly.
So we'll go over this a little bit more, but I did want to just like reiterate that if you're going to NAB, you don't need to get like the expensive tickets and all of the conferences, and all you need is the free exhibit pass that you can get free. We have an exhibit pass code. This is Maxon's exhibit pass code that they have given out to get your free pass. It's L as in love, V as in Violet. I don't know the actual. It's Victor, right?
Las Vegas, dude.
Oh, Las Vegas.
LV, Las Vegas.
That's what it is. LV. I'm just trying to pronounce the LV. Las Vegas, 6739. Now, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'm going to buy tickets." It's like, don't buy tickets. You can get this stuff for free.
Unless you want to go to some of like the paid workshops and stuff like that. Sure, go for that. But like if you just want to come hang out at the Maxon booth, go see the Adobe booth, go see some of the presentations there, just get the free exhibit badge, you know?
Yeah. There's also the parties and stuff. Well, we will go through all of that. But Sunday night, the 24th, is the big Mograph Meetup. This is the School of Motion thing. This is the thing that has happened previously at the beer garden. There's a ton of sponsors on this, including us. We're really excited. You can get your tickets. There's a link that I'll put in the show notes. You can already find it on our Twitter and their Twitter. You got to get yourself a ticket because I don't know how many tickets they're going to have. I don't know when these are going to run out. I don't think it says how many are left. So make sure you do that. You got the Maxon code, the video. We're working on some swag to bring with us to Vegas and stuff. We got to get on that pretty soon. Anyway, that's it for NAB. If you have any questions about it, you can get in our Slack, go to the NAB channel, and you can coordinate with people. I know a lot of people are like, well, I need to find somebody to room with, or maybe we want to go in on an Airbnb. That's what people have done in the past. So get in that channel and coordinate. I know there's a lot of people trying to figure out their plans and hang out with each other. So the other thing I wanted to bring up is Mograph Classes. Make sure you check out Mograph Classes, Houdini course, the Brush Up course, the Unreal course. And also, we have the RTX course with Brandon coming out soon. It's an advanced ray tracing course. Working on trying to finish up all the web details for that this week so that we can get that pushed out. Because if we wait too much longer, Unreal 5 is going to be here. So it's a very complex course. This is not a noob course, but it is amazing. I'll tell you that. Mograph TV. Hope y'all been watching Mograph TV. Hope you're watching now.
See, I'm watching right now.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah. Check out the Between the Keyframe show, the show with Aaron Sorofsky and Austin Shaw. That's going to be showing after this show today. There's actually going to be 2 episodes after this if you're watching on Mograph TV. And if you're not, flip over to it after. Check it out. We really want to get people on board with that. And tell your friends, leave it on at home. Leave it on at your job. Go to the conference room and turn it on, Yeah. Help promote
Everyone's
us
like,
with
who keeps on putting on Mograph TV?
Yeah.
It's like,
but take a mental health break from 24/7 war live coverage of all the terrible things going on and put this on and kind of get into your art for a little bit. Try and tune out the world the best you can. You got to get your work done. You got to disconnect from that. It's not good for you mentally to be just in that all the time. Also, check out the new articles on the site. We don't talk about them that often, but we got a slew of new articles on there. You may see some of them when you open up Cinema 4D home screen. That comes up. 3D motion shows coming back. Speaking of Maxon, God, there's a lot of announcements today.
There are, yeah. That's good.
On March 23rd, we'll put a link. You can see their announcement. They don't have the lineup on the site yet, but if you go to maxon.net, you can see who's going to be presenting, including
very important
jerk.
people.
Yeah,
this one
jerk.
jerk.
Matt Milstead, who's going to be presenting.
Yep.
You got to get me your presentation done, dude. Unlike
I know. I'm working on it. Get it done today.
Okay, good. The other thing I was going to say is send us your shorts. Not that kind of short, silly.
No,
Not that kind, silly.
Okay.
Yeah, I literally had that line written on the notes because I knew that was going to happen.
The way you said it,
I know.
You know, it made it sound like
Yeah. Send us your shorts.
Dave wants to eat your shorts.
Yeah, it's our OnlyFans site. No. The animated shorts, we're putting together a fun show that'll air every once in a while on Mograph TV that is just like strung together shorts, either like strung together really short shorts, or if say you had a 15 or 30-minute short, we can put in between some of the other things. If you would like us to play it periodically, of course, you know, you put your logo on it and your link to your things and everything, but send it our way. Now you can email it to us. Send us a link somewhere where we can download it. Just make sure it's 30 frames a second and 16 by 9. And that is it. I have one link that I would like to put out there, and we have talked about Aaron Westwood's World Creator short that he has been working on for a really long time. And it is out. It's on World Creator's YouTube channel. You can check it out. It's freaking fantastic. It is so realistic looking. It's insane. So, yeah. So check that out.
So pretty.
Yeah. Anyway, Gavin, let's talk about you. It's been a year and a half.
I think, it's been about a year and a half, because I feel like when we talked the last time, like COVID was still happening, you know. I believe you had COVID, you know, at the time.
COVID,
yeah. And then what else? Like NFTs, you were doing NFTs, but NFTs weren't like the hot shit yet.
Right. It was like a little side hustle, like, this is neat.
Yeah.
Let's see if this turns into anything.
Yeah. You were actually the first person that I ever saw talking about NFTs, like in a big way. Like, y'all don't even know. You got to check out these NFTs, y'all. You don't even know. And then you came on the show and you kind of told us about it, but you were the first person to describe what they were to me. So I'm hearing all the words like blockchain and things that I didn't understand at the time, still don't understand really. And like even then it was like, okay, cool. That's cool. And then we just didn't get into it until it was too late and everybody got rich. And so it's interesting though, because I think that was probably summertime of 2020.
I think it was. That sounds right.
Yeah, like it was before we bought Beeple pieces ourselves.
Summer 2020 sounds right, because I remember I did it with Chris Franos. He came on the show.
That's right.
And we were going to do it in the same room, and then we were like, we should do it in our separate apartments to like set a good example for COVID. So like it was that point in the pandemic where it was like stay at home. So
235, episode 235.
235.
Wow.
We're up to 320 now. Wow.
June 3rd, 2020.
June 3rd. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, so summer 2020.
Yeah, it was before I even moved to this new
Wow,
studio.
we all look so young.
Yeah, the ravages of the pandemic hadn't hit us yet, you know.
Right.
And so we didn't really listen right then to your advice, but
we should have.
We
should have listened to my advice, guys. It was the next big thing. I swear.
Should have bought some apes.
Yeah, should have bought some apes.
We all should have bought some apes.
Yeah. Some of us did. Some of us didn't. You know. So we wanted to kind of catch up on what your journey has been, because he was just starting. We didn't even know what kind of questions to ask you about NFTs last time. Right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So my only question is, like, should we just immediately go into the drop? Like how are we just going to talk about NFTs? We might as well, huh?
I mean,
whatever you guys want, you know, however you run the show.
Sure. I mean, I guess let's go into the drop, but you know, keep in mind it's still the same show.
It is still the same show, but we're talking
not
about
going
NFTs.
Anywhere. We're all right here. Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
It's so that people will know immediately whenever they go into it, or they just look. They say, "Oh, they're the drop."
Well, not to mention it's its own separate show, so none of the Gavin stuff will be on the NFT show if we don't start the NFT show, right?
So just so y'all know, we're gonna talk NFTs, so it goes to the blue screen instead of the snowy screen. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Drop. Is this the fucking mic? Drop. This is exactly what I should be doing.
What's up, and welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the Mograph industry. I'm Matt Milstead. Joining me, as always, is Dave Koss. Joining us this week is super NFT aficionado maker, Mr. Gavin Shapiro.
Hey, what's up, guys?
From the NFT aviary.
From the NFT aviary. I love that. That's good.
Yeah,
there you
I'll
go.
take it. I'll take it. All I know is birds, you know?
You know why we call it The Drop?
Why is that?
Because when we switch to it, all our view count goes down.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I guess there's not a lot going on in the world of drops this week, Matt. I know you had like 3 things you wanted to mention real quick before we get into the meat.
Yeah, I can do that. Let me pull back up my list because I had my intro. We should just add the intro into this each week, into those notes, so I don't have to keep on going back. Anyway, Maker's Place. There's only 2 drops this week. The first one is Lumi doing Cosmic Folklore. This one's beautiful. I love the colors. Absolutely love the colors.
Man, the colors, children.
The colors.
Hi.
So really cool ethereal stuff. I dig it. I super like it. I like it a lot.
That's pretty
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the 10th, Urs Fisher's doing another drop on Maker's Place. Gotta love myself some Urs Fisher.
Some intersecting geometries.
Some intersecting geometry. Yeah. Moving, intersecting like you do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Or like
anyway.
the spoon through the letter.
Right.
Yeah.
So chaos.
Nice.
Chaos.
But we also had 2 community drops as well, right?
We do have 2 community drops. Yeah, the first one is Billy Chitkin. He is dropping his new piece. I believe it is on Super Rare. He's dropping it next week. No, today. He's dropping it today.
Oh, it's today. The 7th. Oh, yeah, it's today.
Arhelius. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. But yeah, super cool piece. I dig it. I really dig it.
Wow.
Love the
Very
space.
detailed.
Space.
Yeah, space.
Space. And then the last one, got an email. Hey, Matt and Dave, hope your Monday is going well. This was last week. I have an upcoming drop on 3/2, so that was 5 days ago, on Nifty Royale. In case you are not aware of the platform, when you buy one of these versions, your NFT will automatically entered into a BR. What's a BR?
Battle
Royale?
Battle Royale. Neat.
I guess. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Shows
Battle
how much Fortnite I play, right?
Well,
entered
BR
into
is a Halo term. I mean.
It is?
Battle rifle.
Battle rifle, yeah. It's battle
Yeah.
rifle. Entered into a battle rifle.
Yeah.
Where one winner will be selected randomly and win the special editions. That's fun. We're also, I think EJ did something similar to this. We're also airdropping fun Nintendo-style versions to anyone that buys the base NFT. Also produced 2 custom Battle Royale fighting game teaser trailers for the drop to play. Yeah.
You mentioned this
cool
is
stuff.
Garrett, right? Garrett Appleton?
No, because it doesn't say Garrett Appleton on it.
Yeah, I sorry, I added it to my notes. So it is Garrett Appleton and Ape Town Art, who we had no idea, the relation
Was related to
yeah. So anyway, that's it, right? That is it for.
That's it as far as like the drops, the community stuff. But let's get into it with Gavin, because Gavin's OG NFT artist.
We have a lot to
one
talk about.
Trying to convince us all to get into NFT art. And we're like, what is this crap? Can I just right click and save as?
That was my first reaction too. I think that was a lot of people's first reaction. It's like,
and that was 100% me. Like when EJ and Ariev used to, or EJ especially, was talking about it, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna save some of my stuff," and he sold like 3 of his pieces for like $250, like instantly, and I was like, how? Like, I didn't get it. It wasn't until we had people on the show where he started talking about the smart contracts and stuff like that, where I could see like the usefulness of it and how it actually can be legit,
Totally.
But so tell us about your journey.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Like,
man,
what have you
journey.
been up to since, like,
Since
basically
2 years ago?
Yeah, blowing up and, doing tons of, very successful drops. I own several of your pieces.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, you're one of my OG original favorite artists. So,
that's nice of you to say, dude. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. It's been really, really crazy and surreal and humbling, and I feel very lucky to have had this journey so far. I started, I got into it because Nifty Gateway invited me to their platform.
That's nice. Yeah.
In I think May 2020.
Back before people were begging to get on the platform.
Yeah, exactly. They were just like reaching out to everyone. I was like, hey, this sounds kind of like a scam, but can you tell me more about it?
Yeah.
It sounds a little too good to be true. Can I see your contract and everything? And, but I was like, sure, let's try it. Why not? I showed it to a friend of mine who's really into the art world, and he gets it, and he was like, oh yeah, he recognized some artists on the platform already, and he was like, no, if they're on this platform, I think this is legit. I think it was Kenny Scharf, maybe. I think he was one of the first artists on there. But anyway, so I did it, and I was doing a drop with them every few months, and then in February 2021, I had a really successful release. And it was like, I made more money from that drop than I was making at my day job. So I asked my day job if I could, take a leave of absence to see if this was viable and if I could do it long term. And I as the end of the leave of absence was approaching, I said, I think this is going well, so I'm gonna keep doing it if that's okay. And they understood. They were very, very kind about it. Great company. I was working at RGA. And yeah, so I left RGA, and then I have just been doing drops ever since. I've been doing them on Nifty Gateway every few months. I've had super rare releases intermittently. I released something on Artifacts, which is a very cool project started by a great guy, Roger Dickerman, who he's been interviewing everyone in the NFT community, and he's been really supportive of everyone. He's been going on, I want to say like CNN or NBC or something, live on the air, like talking about, why NFTs are going to stick around and what the utility is.
All right. It says it's live. It says that it's live on the same stream, so I'm very interested to see what this is going to do for us here.
Yeah, but it's weird. It
you got to give it a second.
Gives us the last 10 seconds or something.
All right. Let me see what I got real quick, and then we can go.
All right, we're live. Yeah, it's going.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I can see it.
All right. I don't know what that's going to do as far as the archive, if it's going to skip or if I'm going to have to re-upload, but
I think it
looks like it just jumped. I saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, guys, I'm sorry, man.
No, it's not your fault.
like
Who cares?
Not your fault at all.
We got this, baby. It's all good.
happens.
Well, the producer
happens,
and me should have done those things, like put that stuff on a written it down.
Yeah,
and
but
thought about
you
printing out
knew
a thing
exactly
that said,
what the
"Don't touch
problem was immediately and got it fixed. It's no big deal. It's
It's all good. It's all good.
this." All right.
Okay.
Thomas says Gav was talking about
some guy on NBC.
someone talking.
Oh my God, ages ago.
Right.
That was ages ago.
Come
was
on,
like 5
guys.
minutes
That was
ago.
like
Yeah.
15 years in NFT time.
Yes. So, recap. I was talking about Roger Dickerman, who runs the Artifacts project, which is a very cool NFT project. He's like making a big long-term archive of like the top NFT artists in the space, making like a time capsule kind of thing. And he's been on the news, being a proponent for NFTs and explaining, the kind of possibilities that come from them.
Super cool.
But yeah, so I worked with him, and then I did a few releases on Nifty Gateway once every few months. I've done a bunch of stuff on Super Rare and some stuff on Tezos as well, on Hen. And then we started talking about Five Penguins.
Yeah, Five Penguins.
Yeah,
Five Penguins is a killer project.
Thanks,
Dave, it's not going to be the same. I'm talking about it again. Dave, you should cut in the original.
No. There's no
for
editing.
the show.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
show.
yeah.
For the
Oh, for
actual
the show.
audio show.
Yeah,
because
audio
it was
show.
better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we were talking about how, I appreciated the fact that when you were releasing it, you said, this is there's no utility planned, nothing. It's all for the art. you know, and it's not
Yep.
often that you see, you know, projects like this, collections coming out and being like, hey, this is just for the art. It's like, especially in the NFT space, you know, it's very, it's as much as like a lot of artists want to be like, oh, it's about the art, blah, blah, blah. It is about making money because this is their job, and, you know, it's collectible and it's whatever. But like, you know, it's not often that you see, I'm just doing it for the art, you know?
Yeah. No, but it is generally for the, and of course, you know, there's a money-making component of it. That's what NFTs allow.
Sure.
But, you know, my goal here is not like to try to sell you something. I don't want to convince you to buy my art. It's like my goal in this is to make art, and if I can make a living selling my art, I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm not going to try to convince you to buy it. I'll put it out there if you want it. Great. Like, I want the people who collect my work to really love it. You know, I don't want to have a collector base that's all people who just bought it because they want to sell it. You know, I want it to go into the hands of people who want it and really like it. So I'm just, you know, I'll keep making the art and I'll keep putting it out there. And if people like it and I can make a living doing it, I'll keep doing it. You know, and if I can't, then I'll go back to animating spinny phones and stuff.
Right.
You know? What I was going to say earlier before we got disconnected is that I think it was a tweet or something that I saw. You were the first person that I remember seeing something out there that said, I'm going to stop doing my day job and do this full time. Like, you're the first person I saw. And it was around, what was that?
It was now.
February?
It was I think March 1st is a year anniversary.
Wow.
When I left.
God.
That was when I took the leave of absence, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a year.
I'll always remember February 2021.
Yeah.
That
too,
year, man. That was just like the boom. You know, that
was unreal.
Everybody was That's when everybody realized they were missing out on making money all of a sudden, and they were like, okay, I get it now. You know.
Yeah. No one wanted to do client work, and we were all bitter that we had to, while all of our friends were making millions of dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
You were gonna ask something though, Matt. I thought.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Did you? So did you talk about the 3D prints yet?
Let's
air?
Let's go back. Let's go back and
project.
talk about because I don't think we talked about it that was actually live. Like how you actually went through and did the 5 Penguins project. You know, what was like the actual workflow for it, and you know, you had talked about while we were off the air. You know, the he was actually like piecing them all together or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
what's that process like? How are you, you know, dividing and conquering?
Sure. So the idea came about because let's see, I really like numbers, and I wanted to do something where it was like it's 5 slots, and every slot has 5 different options. So 5 to the 5th is 3,125 combinations. You know, so each of those different options is a different penguin, and then, you know, you have all these different combinations of penguins. So it's like, okay, how do I execute that? How do I make 3,000 renders?
Right.
And it was, as I was mentioning before, working with my friend Jason Rosenstein, who has done another collectible project, and he did it with pictures, you know, and it was images layered on top. So each one is just one image. And I asked him if it could be possible to do it with an animation, and he said, yeah, and he figured it out. And, you know, we went back and forth for a few months, and he like put together this script, this Python script to combine them all, to combine all the assets. But basically what it was is I gave him, let's see, I think I had 25 different penguin renders, you know, 5 in each one.
Each, yeah.
And each one is, you know, on alpha, and there's the shadow was included, so it could just go over with a normal layer. Yeah. And then I had the backgrounds, and then the environmental things, and then, you know, he just would stack them. So he had his random number generator. You know, it would go through the numbers. So the first one is 1 1 1 1 1, and then the next one is 1 1 1 1 2, and then it keeps going up. And then it would put all the appropriate penguin layers, and then it would randomize the background and the environment elements, you know, the snow or the Christmas lights or whatever.
And are you able to create, like, say, okay, like for example, the bees are the are worth the most. Are you able to set the percentages of how often they show up?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So, I gave him like the percentages that I wanted of each one. And then, he put it into the script and it worked out. And it's randomly generated. So it's like, not exact to the point, but it's like, it's pretty close. It's cool how it just works out because of math,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was it. It was basically rendering out each layer, as an image sequence, and then giving it him, and then he, put them all together with his script.
What was he using to composite everything together?
It was just the script.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I basically composited it in After Effects and then rendered out each layer, so it was just an image sequence that he could just lay on top.
Cool. The script does all the. That's interesting.
So the script just like took the layer and then the next one normal mode, next one normal mode, and it just has alpha in it, so it works. I think the only one that had an additive mode was the Christmas lights.
Okay.
And maybe I think there was something else. I can't remember now. Maybe the snow. Definitely the Christmas lights, because if you put that on normal, lights kind of make like a gradient.
Right.
But everything else, it was just a normal mode, But he figured it all out. He built the whole script. So really, really fun working with him, going back and forth, because the whole thing was just a problem-solving adventure.
How much time was it that you were like, I'm gonna do this, to when you actually launched?
A few months at least. I'm trying to remember when I came up with the idea. I don't remember exactly. But there you go. There are the penguins.
Yeah, I figured I'd show them,
Yeah, thanks, man. It was definitely a few months, maybe like 3 or 4 months, if I'm remembering right. I think we launched December 16th, I want to say.
Okay.
And I feel like I came up with it in the summer or the fall.
I love the idea that it's poker,
Exactly.
that it's poker hands and stuff like that.
Exactly, because I wanted to make something where like the rarity would kind of emerge naturally, just from numbers creating it.
Right.
So it was like, you have your poker hands, and then it's like there's a straight, a straight is rarer than a pair, 5 of a kind is incredibly rare. But it just happens just because of how numbers work. And I think there's something really beautiful in that, it's just nature.
Yeah.
Everything kind of comes from numbers in a way.
Yeah. See, now you got to do 5 flamingos.
Ooh,
right. Thought about some kind of
5
thing in the
puffins,
future, maybe.
Yeah. Puffins.
Well, it was funny. What happened was there was a glitch when we first launched, and we had to stop minting and then fix it and then relaunch. So there were like 300 or so minted that had no graphics. So then we had to
ask you
airdrop
about that. Yeah, because I had 3 or something that was like coming soon or something like that, and I was like,
how?
Why do I have this and then 3 other ones?
Okay,
there was a glitch, and we basically had to stop it, and then we did a snapshot of who already got minted which edition, and then we airdropped those holders new versions, and then picked up the live mint from that.
That's
point.
a smart way to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just airdrop them the corrected version.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that collection still exists. It's on the blockchain. You can't delete it.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the developers was like, "Yo, we should rename it Zero Penguins." So I was like, "All right, that's awesome." So we renamed the collection Zero Penguins, and we put up the same header image, but there's no penguins in it.
Can you not burn those? Does that mess something up if you burn them, or what?
I think you probably could burn them, but I think they're still on the blockchain. Like I think OpenSea could still display them. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says
so it exists.
Yeah.
So in the back of my head, I'm like, maybe one day some kind of reward for like the early people. So we'll see. I got to think about it before actually doing something. But
you could just do like you could release it as just maybe a single NFT, like everyone gets the exact same image as like a thank you or something,
a bonus or something. Yeah,
it's just a scene, no penguins in it.
Exactly, just the same scene but with no penguins.
Right.
Like that.
What date did you release this though? Was it before or after the the robots, the why can't I not remember?
The Mechaverse?
The Mechaverse. What did
Mechaverse.
Yeah,
was
it
this
was
before?
after Mechaverse.
I think it was after.
It was after.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was after.
My question about that was like, you know, we kind of saw how that drop kind of got botched a little bit, and it really
Too much hype.
Too much hype.
It wasn't just the hype; it was the fact that the launch was pretty bad, and it made it worse.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the hype could have actually helped it had it not launched that bad. Did you have any like? Were you nervous about like, okay, what if something happens during launch and it messes up the whole thing, and then like people are like, because it seemed to me that that's what happened with the Mechaverse.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
and I think a lot
definitely.
of people are using Mechaverse as an example of kind of what not to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was stressed out of my mind that something would go wrong. And then something went wrong, like, within an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and then we had to cancel the mint and redo it all.
Good
So,
fix, though. That was a great fix.
I mean,
Yeah.
thanks to the developers. They worked their asses off on that.
But I think that is a good lesson from Mechaverse about, like, you know, how you do your rollout and make sure that things aren't too similar, and, you know, you have the right kind of rarity and all of that, you know.
Yeah. Yep. I think what I learned from Mechaverse was, like, it seemed, because I love those guys, the two Matts who put that project together, and their art is just amazing. I've been following them for years, and when I saw they were doing a project, I was like, this is the one. Like, this is going to be like what NFTs could be. You know, it's like these real artists who are incredibly talented, incredibly skilled. They're making a collectible project. Like, that's so cool. And then I think just like the hype train got on board, and it just, so many people hopped in, and then there are 100,000, 300,000, 500,000 people trying to get it. And that, and then it's in Forbes. It's like, now everyone just wants it so they can sell it. You know, like, people don't want it for the art anymore, which I think is a real shame, because the art's beautiful, you know, and they knocked it out of the park. But I think it just got out of hand. So a thing I learned from that was, I don't want to overpromise, and I don't want to, like, make something that, oh, you're get on the whitelist, you can sell this for money.
Right.
I just want, I was like, don't hype it up, just be genuine about what it is, you know. And I didn't make a Discord for my thing, because I didn't, you know, I saw people, you know, getting scammed on Discord, and it's like, now there's a Discord community you have to maintain. You got to get a Discord community. It's like, it's not what I'm good at, you know. Like, I think I've done well in this space so far, because, you know, I got in early, and that's a huge privilege. But I've only, let's see, I've tried to focus on taking advantage of my strengths and the things that I'm good at, you know, and like, managing a Discord community is not something that I would be able to do well, and like in a sane way. You know, I think it'd be terrible for my mental health. I'm already on Twitter 24/7, which is draining. You know, I'm not cut out for this much social media. So I didn't want to take on another thing that I knew I wouldn't be able to maintain and then let people down. So from Mechaverse, I basically learned, like, don't bite off more than you can chew. I think. You know.
I think that's good, though. You know, I mean, you've got all the amazing pieces that you've released. You did a really cool collection drop with zero expectations from anyone. You know, like you're definitely making it more about the art and less about the, you know, the money.
Thank you. Yeah, and then it's fun, because then, you know, when I do decide to do something new that that is, you know, part of the same collection, but there's a new piece of it, it's like, that's really exciting for people, instead of like, you know, where's the thing you promised, you know, when are you delivering, you know, when an airdrop and all this shit.
When airdrop, come on, friend.
So it's just more fun that way, to just be, you know, not overpromise, and then you can just have fun with it, and it's a fun surprise, you know.
What's I like asking this question to NFT artists. What's your ultimate end game?
Ultimate end game.
Yeah. Like,
oh boy,
is there a number where it's like, okay, at this point, I think I'm going to retire. I think I'm going to stop doing art, and I'm just going to have fun. Or I'll only release one piece every 6 months. Or what happens if NFTs become stupid?
Sure.
You know?
I mean, no, those are great questions, because it's like, what is the end game?
Right?
Let's see. I would say my goal is to just be able to make a living making art. You know, like, I don't think I would just quit if I hit a certain number. Like I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Like all I know how to do is use the computer and make 3D stuff. You know, it's like I'm not just gonna get a number and then stop working on this. You know what I mean?
See, I have a number.
Yeah.
$13 million. Once I have $13 million,
that's it. Yeah.
I'm good. I just go travel for the rest of my life.
That sounds pretty good. I would like to travel more, but no, I mean, it's like, it's funny. My girlfriend Audrey could tell you this too. It's like every time I finish like a nifty gateway drop, because when I've done a nifty gateway drop, they invite me to the next one, like, you know, in 4 months or 6 months or something. So every time I'm approaching the drop, I'm like, okay, after this drop, I'm going to take a break. Like, this is going to be it. I've been working so hard on this. And I finish, I'm like, breath of fresh air. And then they're like, hey, so the next drop is April. And I'm like, all right, great, sounds good. And then like from that point on, just up in bed at night, like, what's my drop going to be? Ooh, I can't wait to figure this out. You know, and it's like, it's a problem solving thing. It's like, I can't not make stuff, you know? So
your body feeds off that stress, you know, and if you don't have it, then you'll die.
Yeah, it's funny. It's not even the stress. It's just like, it's fun to work hard on something, and then at the end you have it, and you're like, it's like,
it's you.
Yeah,
it's shipped.
It's a piece of you.
You know, it's a piece of you. Yeah, you're forming identity essentially.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you get it out, and it's like it's satisfying to look at it, and it's like, I had it. This is a dream that I articulated. You know.
Yeah.
It's like that whole process is very rewarding for me. And also, you know, if I do something where I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, and then I finally get it out, it's really it's satisfying to have that sense of accomplishment too, and to learn something along the way. You know, I would like to keep learning things. I don't want to stagnate. So I always try to do something a little bit different or a little bit new each time. You know, I have this fear, like, you know, because I don't do flamingo loops anymore. You know, like the flamingos show up, but you know, I didn't want to just be like, all right,
I'm the flamingo loop guy.
Right.
Yeah, but also like I didn't want to look back on my career and be like, all right, I did another 400 flamingo loops after that.
Right.
And that's all I do. Oh, they need another one. Okay, it's time to make another. You know, it's like I want to try to be doing something that pushes me a little bit each time.
Yeah.
You know, and it also is new in the context of what people are saying in this space. Because there's so much opportunity for that, you know. It's a new space, and I think a lot of people are coming in and they're looking at it as like an opportunity to make money, but I see it as like an opportunity to do something that's never been done before. Yeah. You know, because you know, people throw around the term NFT kind of loosely and like not really understanding what it is, but it's like it's a medium essentially. Yeah. You know, like from an artist standpoint, like NFTs are a medium. Yeah. And it's like they can offer new tools and new things that you can do with it. In new ways that people can interact with each other. And it's, I just think that part of it's really interesting. And I think there's a lot of opportunity to discover new ways to use it, you know? Yeah. So I don't know. What was the initial question? When am I going to stop? Anyway, well, I guess coming back to it, it's like, I don't think I do have an end goal in this. I think my goal, because I found when you have an end goal of something, often you get turned around along the way and you have to pivot. And, you know, I'm not necessarily going for one thing in 10 years. It's like, I want to have sort of principles that drive my actions. And then along the way, I'll have the space to pivot and figure out like what the best path is, you know? Yeah. I think that's the best way to put it.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. Go ahead, Dave. I feel like
a question that's something I actually wrote down, and you kind of touched on this for a second, but, one of the things that I've been thinking of lately with a lot of our NFT artist friends, right, who are really getting into this, they're making a lot of art and whatnot, is how do you keep up your technical chops during all of this, right? Now, if some of our friends are making new things with every single NFT they release, right? Like it's a whole new venture every time. But a lot of our friends are in a specific genre, and that's why people like them, right? Like, so-and-so does this kind of thing, so you're going to do those kind of things, you know, and that is your type of art that's selling. How do you stay up to date technically with maybe other techniques, other software, all of that stuff? Because what happens if in 3 years, all of a sudden, you know, God forbid, your sales fall and you're like, okay, I've got to do some other things, or NFTs go away. Who knows? You know, how do you keep your chops up?
Great question, man. I mean, it's just a matter of like, I guess, being diligent about it and being like, I'll try not to do the same thing this time, or I'll try to learn something new, or, like recently I was asked to do like an AR sculpture, and I had never done that. And, that involved like turning something into a GLB and then putting it in an environment. So it was like, I was like, okay, I don't really know how to do that, but I'll learn how to do it, and I tried to I had to upgrade to R25 because R21 can't export GLBs or something.
Yeah.
So now I'm on R25 at last. But so I learned that recently. I learned, I sort of started taking a look at Embergen, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So cool, man. Oh my God.
Cool.
So I have a piece coming out soon that uses a little bit of that. And then in my upcoming Nifty Gateway drop, I'm using it in that also. So it's a very cool thing that I sort of been putting off learning because I had never done like smoke or fire or anything like that.
Yeah.
The last time I tried was in like 2015. I was trying to do it in Houdini, and it would like take an hour to like do the sim, and I was like, oh, I don't like it. I try new parameters, and then it's like, oh, okay. And I was like, how does anyone become a Houdini artist? This is insane.
Right.
So that was the first time I gave up Houdini. That's happened.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. There have been like 2 other times where I was like, I'm going to learn it. I'm going to like watch the tutorials, I'm going to do it. And then it's the same thing. After a few days, I'm like, oh boy, I need to like spend a year on this.
Stop being
but maybe I'm
afraid of
blowing
Houdini,
up. Yeah, stop being afraid of Houdini. I was thinking of just getting that course and just diving in.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me see. I think a better answer to the question though is find new techniques that will help you tell another part of your story.
Okay.
Because for me, I had this idea. There was a part in the animation where like something was smashing against the ground, and I wanted like steam to come up. And I was like, oh, I don't know how to do steam. And then I was like, well, learn Embergen. Like you've seen, videos on Twitter about Embergen all the time. Like, pick it up. So for that, it wasn't like, okay, do the tutorial, try to figure it out. Oh, it's hard, but push through it. Like that can be kind of frustrating. It's kind of like learning a language with flashcards. It's like it's not really going to stick unless you have a purpose, unless it helps you tell some kind of story or you use it. It's got to have some kind of purpose. You got to learn it so that you can use it to do something. So I would say like push yourself to try new techniques that will allow you to tell a new part of your story.
Because one of the things you asked us kind of, it might have been off the air before we started, is what has been going on in the motion graphics industry.
What's going on in the motion graphics industry.
And it's not just like staying up to date on techniques and software tutorials and stuff. It's also about the networking, the connections, and things going on. And I don't think anybody really does it on purpose per se, but we talk to you, we talk to people like David Ariev, Ryan Talbot, who are just like, I am so immersed in this and just like constantly on Twitter and doing the collector thing and networking.
It's like completely switching careers.
Right.
It's like switching careers.
Like
even though it's the same, it's the same general thing, but it is like basically switching careers.
Right. Yeah, it's a vertical, if you will. Right. And so like you don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose your connection to your friends and other people you may know and like what's going on. I NFT people who have moved to NFTs and are so immersed in it. It's not on purpose, but it's just like, do you even know NAB's happening next month? Like the community aspect of the whole thing of like,
it's wild. It's a different community. You know? But I don't want to lose it. And it's like, I try not to only follow like NFT people on Twitter. It's like, I have a lot of motion graphics people I'm following, a lot of AI art, which is really interesting. I'm getting into that now. But it seems like everyone's learning Blender. It seems like Blender is the new thing. It's so funny. I sort of predicted this like maybe 5 or 10 years ago. People were like, Blender, what's Blender? I'm like, I bet Blender's going to like take over one day. I bet in about 10 years, Blender's going to take over everything because it's so much more accessible. There's no price barrier. It's just like, it's free. You can get it. You can learn it. So now 10 years later, after all these 13-year-olds learning Blender for free are now 23 and they're getting in the industry, it's like when people are looking, like, is Blender in studios now?
Some, yeah. There's some. There was a studio that was entirely Blender, and then they ended up screwing themselves because they tried switching over to a Maya Houdini,
workflow
pipeline and stuff
Sure.
like that. Yeah. So
it's
but,
something
yeah, I mean,
that is kind of like the Photoshop thing, right? Where
it
the
is
pirated versions of Photoshop
absolutely
were
Yep.
free, quote unquote, because
Yeah.
but that's what the 13-year-olds were using, and that's what they use
Yeah.
now. And
now they all use Photoshop. You know, it's like
Yep.
the
Yeah.
long game, real long game. I remember when I was working at Buck in like 2016, and it was like they had like 3 computers that had C4D and Octane, you know, for this project. Everyone else was like doing Maya, you know, but it was like, oh, it seems like people are like learning C4D and Octane on YouTube and stuff. And it's like, you know, that's how knowledge spreads now. It's like all on the internet, you know. So with a community like Blender, where it's free and it's like everyone's so supportive and everyone's teaching each other, it's like no wonder it's taking off.
Yeah.
Right.
know?
And if you're somebody like Maxon, how do you even compete with that? That's the question I think a lot of designers ask. You know, if you're Maxon, I mean, like if somebody came out with, you know, I mean, I don't know what it is, but like if somebody came out with this 100% equivalent of Stop Being Afraid of Houdini, except it was free, there's no way to compete with that.
Yeah.
How do you manage that? It sucks. But in my head, there are just so many people that are Cinema 4D like me. Like I don't have a reason to move over. What is my reason to move over?
Same. You know, for me, it's like I don't have a reason to learn Blender. Like I'm fascinated by it, and I am curious to learn it. I'm really curious to learn it. And Jeff Webb saying geometry nodes in Blender looks like a game changer. Like, I've seen all these videos of geometry nodes. It's crazy. Someone built like an abandoned house generator.
Yeah,
and it just like
did
you see that? And you can just drag an effector field or whatever through it, and it destroys it. It's like that's really cool. And maybe you could do that in C4D. I don't know. Like I didn't look at it super in depth, but
I mean, there's nodes in cinema now, so like there's I mean,
so so it's like I don't know why I would ever switch to Blender. There's no reason for me to, and I already have Cinema 4D and I know it. You know, it's like it would be like learning a new language if you already speak one and work in it. It's like there's no real push for me to do it, but I definitely can see like someone who's starting now from zero, like why would they learn anything other than Blender? You know,
right? Like I have Photoshop,
free
but
and
I mean, I know there's free stuff out there, but I'm not getting off of Photoshop just because.
Exactly. You know, it's like it's what you know fluently,
right?
And it's useful. You know, people use it too, so that makes total sense.
It's any company that's dealing with that, and I mean, there's other companies that deal with that as well. You know, where a free version of something comes out. I don't know what the answer to that is. Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about your VJ stuff as well.
Oh, sure.
We haven't hit that topic yet.
Actually, can I ask a real quick question going back to the NFT stuff, because this is something that I think people getting into this space could really use some advice about.
Okay.
Because I have found myself victim to this. And you know, it's whatever, it's live and learn. You know, some people may be really excited to do an NFT project with a, you know, like a big name client or something like that. And like, for example, with some of the, you mentioned that you had released on like, you know, Super Rare and Nifty Gateway. And there was this other one that you mentioned that I hadn't really heard of, you know? And it's like, how do you know if someone's coming to you and saying, hey, I'd really like for you to do a drop on our platform or something like that? How do you kind of like gauge whether they're legit or not, you know, or like, is this going to be worth it? Am I going to spend a week of my time or 2 weeks of my time doing this project for you only for me to like make $20, you know?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I mean, and it's hard because like I get tons of emails and Instagram messages like, hey, we're releasing a new platform. Do you want to do a drop on it? You know, and it's like, I can tell there are a lot of people coming in and they want to make their money off of it, you know, like they want to do a new platform and they want to get a cut and this and that and everything. So I don't know. I mean, I joined Nifty Gateway and Super Rare because they were kind of the only ones at that point. And they were also like, not the only ones, but the fact that they reached out to me and I looked them up and they were some of the bigger ones, it was like, okay, sure, try it, you know, and now that's worked out. So that's pretty lucky for me. The other one, Artifacts, I did a drop there because the guy who runs it, he was like, it was clear he was like a really respected guy in the community, and he had done all these interviews called origin stories of like every NFT artist.
That's cool.
And he was like, I'm going to do a drop with all these artists who I've interviewed, so that seemed like a cool thing that I wanted to be a part of, but in terms of like new platforms, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, the whole idea behind blockchain and Web3 and everything is that it's like you can work directly with the artist now. So an artist could release their own NFTs, and then if they can market them and sell them, it's like it just goes right to you. There's no middleman or anything. You know what I mean? So you see people releasing stuff on OpenSea, or there's you should look up Manifold. They're
I know Manifold.
I've been starting to look into their smart contracts and stuff, because they seem like they have the right idea in this space about,
I think
like,
Billy's
how this
doing
is supposed
all
to
of
work.
his stuff through Manifold as
Cool.
well.
Yeah. I'm thinking about looking at them and just educating myself, because it seems like that's the direction this stuff is going. So like in the future, instead of doing, and people have already done this, like on Nifty Gateway, they'll do a Nifty Gateway drop, but the smart contract is the Manifold smart contract. So an artist will have their own smart contract, basically, that all their stuff's released on. And then through that smart contract, they can drop on Nifty Gateway, or maybe on another platform, or they could sell on OpenSea, or, it's more like on the artist having the control over their work, and, where the money goes, and just having no middleman, essentially.
Yeah, you should ping Billy Chitkin if you ever have any questions on that, because I think he's done a lot.
Yeah, he's been working directly with Manifold on his past few drops.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, they're an awesome company. I could tell they got they're in the right headspace about this whole thing.
There's like on these different platforms too. I think a lot of it's about, I don't want to say credibility, because that's not really it, but like, there's just so many platforms, right? And which platform?
There's so many platforms.
It's like, okay, well, maybe you could make money on this, but what is the value? Like, how do you judge the value of something like that? Is it the people that hit you up? Is it because it's people you know? Is it the platform itself? So I don't know.
You're back.
You're
fine.
good.
You're good.
Yeah.
I assume that your audio is still there.
You
so
heard
we
us,
just
right?
Keep going.
Okay.
I heard you.
If somebody comes to you with a platform and you've never heard of them before, obviously it's going to be like, okay, what's this? Like,
See, my big mistake, I did a project where it's like, okay, we're gonna sell this NFT, and here's the client, and I was excited that it was a big client. So I was like, all right, I know how NFTs work, blah, blah, blah. I understand the cuts and stuff like that. So here, I'm going to do it. And then after I had done it, I was like, wait a second, which blockchain are you releasing this on?
Right.
And it's like, oh, some blockchain I've never heard
Joe's
of before.
blockchain.
Okay. Yeah, Joe's blockchain.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, check out Joe's blockchain. It's really
okay.
good.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
really excited about this space, guys.
Live and learn, whatever, I'm a noob in the space.
Yeah, I would just say, like, be really on guard, I guess, and like be ready for people who are trying to trick you, because there are a lot of people trying to trick people right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like anyone who comes to you and they're like, just right off the bat, like promising what you're going to get out of it. Like, trick. They're trying to
exposure.
Entice you,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exposure.
So-and-so has used this blockchain. We did something on this blockchain, and it sold out in a second to this.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to convince you to use them, So just think about what they actually offer, if you'd get anything out of it. And if not, I don't know, release on your own drop on Tezos, or do it on OpenSea, or do it.
Someday somebody's going to figure out how to like put value to exposure dollars,
I mean, hey, that could be a very, you make like exposure coin and get paid in exposure. Someone's probably already
patent pending.
Patent pending.
Yeah, Ryan Talbot's on it. Yeah, exposure coin. Let's do it, Ryan.
Probably worth more than Russian money at least at this point.
Yeah, it's worth more than a ruble.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the DJ. Unless you had more, Matt. Let's talk about the DJ stuff.
No, that was good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We go into the 3D printing after that too. Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a fun one. Yeah.
Talk about the DJ stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The DJ stuff. Yeah. So my stuff has sort of like from the beginning, when I first started making personal work, it was always intended to be used as concert visuals.
Yeah.
You know, I have a website that's Shapiro500.com, and that displays all my loops, just like, you know, it'll play them randomly and in random order. It'll loop them. You can change the BPM and stuff. So I've always had this idea of like using my stuff as concert visuals. But so then with Five Penguins, I wanted to turn this whole series into like a collectible concert visualizer, essentially. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's a website now, it's fivepenguins.party, and it will just display everything from Five Penguins. And
wait, .party or .art?
So .art is the website for the project, and then .party is the visualizer.
Gotcha.
So it just plays them all, random order, plays them in a loop, and you can change the BPM so that the penguins walk to the beat. And it's designed so that the loops are 4 seconds long. So at 120 BPM, it's like every 4 measures it changes. So it's always sort of changing on the beat to the music, which is really nice. And then the big penguins walk on the beat, and then the smallest ones walk on, you know, they're twice as fast. So they're like walking on the hi-hats. And then whenever
Did you have that idea? Did you plan that out ahead of time?
Yeah.
Where it's like,
I mean,
okay, these are working, you know, on the beat or whatever.
To get these to work, just with the loop, because I had to make the loop as short as possible. Yeah, you gotta make it slow.
Yeah, I had to make it as short and as fast, or like as slow and as fast as possible.
Oh yeah,
you know, 9999999 240.
It'll only go up to 240.
Yeah, it's capped. But yeah, so to make this, so the original thing was the loop had to be as short as possible because, you know, there are 3,000 of them and each one's going to have X number of frames.
Right.
So if each one's 12 seconds and, you know, it's 360 frames times 3,000 loops, it's crazy. So the shortest I could get it down to and have it like not be going too fast, because the background's looping too, was 4 seconds. So I did 4 seconds, and then to get stuff to divide into 4 seconds, it was the penguins are every second, and then the other ones every half second, and then the middle-sized penguins are 3 times a second. So that'll all work out over.
Right. Yeah.
It'll all work out over 2 seconds with the background for anyway. So this was all planned just because I always sort of plan
the
things
math part. Right.
Yeah. I always plan things
You're good
to
at the
like
math
work
part.
like puzzle pieces, kind of, you know.
Right.
Like in one of my tutorials, I talk about this too, where I do most of my loops at 12 seconds. So then if I want stuff to loop in it, there are a lot of numbers that fit within 12 as multiples
and
of
the
12.
fours, and the 2.
So if something's looped, exactly. So all of those things, I could make something happening for every 4 seconds or 6 seconds or 2 seconds, and it'll all loop with it. So I always design things that way, so then I don't have to think about it later.
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, I can just, extend the endpoints, and it'll just still work, no matter what.
Yeah.
So
and you can do 2-4, you could do 3-4, 4-4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how you work triplets. You could probably, how do you figure triplets in there somehow?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So
that trap music these days loves their triplets. Hamburger, hamburger, hamburger. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
You need those triplets.
Need the triplets. Well, yeah. So the middle penguins walk 3 times a second. They do 3 steps a second. So there you go. They're ready for you. Do triplets.
All right. Do you have a background in music? Like you must.
I
have to.
I loved playing guitar as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a lot of guitar, and I always had a love for music. And I liked when I was first learning like video editing and stuff. I loved like combining, like timing stuff to land on the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's all coming full circle. So
yeah.
So all my stuff sort of works as VJ loops, but then this whole series I wanted to turn into a whole visualizer project that people could collect the individual pieces of, So then the idea is, now that this is a free thing and anyone can just use it and play it at a show or something, maybe more people will see it at a show and then they want to play it at their show. It's like a way for it to naturally sort of spread. And I think that's one of the reasons why I started gaining traction initially with my old work, is because I had that VJ site, and I would get people like, VJs and DJs would send me videos and stuff like, oh yeah, I was putting your visuals up at my party last night, and they would send me a video of them using the website, which was really, really cool to see. So yeah, that's the idea behind this new Five Penguins announcement, is that it's a collectible concert visualizer, essentially. So anyone can use it for free, and they can use the visuals, they can put them up wherever. And then, if you want, you can collect the individual pieces of it, if you like the art.
Let me ask you about the 3D printing stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did you have another question, Dave?
No. Well, yes, but let's do this first. I was going to talk about utility. Did we talk about utility on or off the air at this point? I don't remember. When we talk about things off the air, then I forget. Yeah. We talked about the utility thing?
Well, the utility is the, being able to use the Five Penguins for the concert visuals.
Okay.
The concert visuals. Yeah.
Okay.
That. And also, it's the shape of a Twitter banner.
I didn't know if we specifically talked about that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all a big blur now. I can't remember when we talked about these things. Okay.
So the you did a drop for Nifty Gateway called Real Collectibles for an Imagined Reality, right? Yeah. Where you did the zoetrope of the flamingos and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm still confused because I don't know whether that was real or not.
That's great. That's the idea. So that was the point of that drop. That was one of my first Nifty Gateway drops.
Yeah. And I remember that because I'm like, is he I saw this gigantic thing or something. I'm like, is this real? I don't know if this is real. Is he
That's awesome.
You really effed up my my idea of what an NFT was at the beginning, because I'm like, great. Wait, is he selling his art as physical things or something?
I love that. That makes me so happy to hear, because that was the idea behind that drop. Was okay, new technology, NFTs. What is an NFTs? Collectibles. You get something. So I was like, what if I make these objects that you'd actually want to collect in real life? Here's the dancing flamingo, but it's like a wooden box with here's this one, this crazy zoetrope. This is inspired by the work of John Edmark.
It's so cool.
He's amazing. So he figured out this technique where he uses the Fibonacci angle, the golden angle, which is how sunflower seeds grow and stuff. It's the most optimal way for seeds and petals and leaves to grow. Spaces them out, and then the sun can hit them really easily. But
Dave, go back to that.
He made zoetropes with this stuff, which is really, really cool. Oh yeah, so this is the one.
Is this real?
Yeah,
it's not real. 3D.
God, it's so
That's
good.
the one we were wondering about. Yeah.
I saw this and I'm like, that thing's got to be real, because I've seen this the zoetrope at Disney World where they've got
I was looking at that as a reference.
And it's like that. It looks exactly like it. See, I knew was not real.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's no way. You can't get a drone going that fast, right?
Too expensive. Yeah, that's a lot of bronze.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's not just the drone; it's the manufacturing of all those statues.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, man. So the idea behind that drop was let's play with the idea of a collectible, whether it be digital or physical. There was one which was the kinetic sculptures in that, and then it was an edition of 10, these kinetic sculptures, and then one of them broke, so there was a single broken one. So it ended up being an edition of 9, and then one broken that I sold for half price because it was broken. But as an NFT, it's that's an edition of 1, so that's the really valuable one.
Right.
I was trying to just play with that idea of what does value mean in these different spaces, and if something's broken, is it more valuable or less valuable because it's a single edition? So it was just supposed to be sort of a confrontation of
and see, I saw that. I saw the dancing flamingo, the broken one, and I was like, oh, sweet, cool. He actually made physically the things that I told him he should make, and it's like, no, he didn't. No.
Yeah.
But. To jump off of that, right?
Yeah.
You released STL files for an actual zoetrope that you can 3D print.
Yeah, you can 3D print. Yeah,
which is so cool.
So this was one of the most fun drops I ever did. This was really fun. I did this with Chris Ferranos. He helped me with all the 3D printing stuff. So the idea for this drop came from a lot of people have been doing collector rewards. And people have been asking me, they're like, hey, are you ever going to do a collector's drop on Nifty Gateway? So I wanted to think about how to really honor that and do it in the best way possible. So I made this drop. It was 2 zoetropes, and the idea was collectors are eligible to get this amazing, beautiful, luxurious collector's zoetrope. It's it's $1. It's for you, my dear collectors. Here you go, this reward for collecting my work. And then I was like, okay, I should do another one that's like a really shitty one, like a really cheap one, to make this one look better. So this contrast is like, here's the mass market zoetrope, here's the collector's zoetrope.
Right.
So my initial plan was, oh, cool, I'll do like a rendering of like a 3D printed one. Like that'd be cool. And I was like looking up techniques of like, how do you get it to look like, how do you get a
get those
texture
lines
to look like the
and
little
stuff
lines
like
and
that.
everything. And I was doing tests and stuff. And I was like, shit, man, like I should just 3D print it. Like if I'm going to build it so it actually works, why not just 3D print it and actually film it? But then, I should film it so it looks like a render. Like, so it looks like I rendered it. And people were asking me, they're like, wait, this is such a realistic render. This is crazy. I'm like, no, I'm glad you think it's a render.
Whose hand is that?
I made this. That's Chris Promise's hand. Yeah. He's a hand model. Yep. He apparently has just like, his hand has been used in like all these VFX things that he's worked on. So we like to say that he's a hand model. So naturally we were like, Chris, it's got to be your hand, dude.
Of course.
But yeah, it was amazing. So I built the first design, in C4D, and I sort of figured it out, like how I thought the gears and everything should work. And I sent it to Chris, and then we went back and forth for like months fine tuning it, because he was like, oh yeah, this, but it'll work better if we do this instead for the 3D printing. And like, this should be flipped upside down because it's got to be scaffolding and like, or, supports and everything. So he was really like the 3D printing guru on that one. And we printed it all at his place. He's got a 3D printer, and we would just run tests, and he would print stuff overnight and try it out. And we went to like a cloth store around the corner and got like, the black cloth. Really luxurious. Yeah, it was great. And he's got a camera, we filmed it. He has lights and stuff. So that was really a collaboration between him and I. And it was just a total blast. It was really, really fun. Because again, it was like, I wanted to do something that I wasn't comfortable with. I wanted to like step out of my comfort zone and be like, oh, what if I actually did a 3D printed thing? And then the idea became, let's make it like as easily distributable as possible. Like, this is the opposite of the luxurious exclusive collector's zoetrope. This is the one for everyone. Like, it's free, print it on your own, have it. It's public domain. Like, get it out. And it's crazy. It's so cool to see people 3D printing it. People are sending in photos and videos of them. Like, here's this thing that was in my head, and now it's like in this guy's bedroom. He's holding it and filming it. It's like, it's bizarre. It's just the spreading of ideas through the internet.
Scott Unrush should do it. Scott Unrush should 3D print that.
On the resin printer. I bet you that'd be clean looking.
Yeah, paint it and stuff, Yeah. What were you looking
Dave,
for?
Can you go back to the really fancy zoetrope? Yeah. The one with the blue and the wood and stuff like that. I gotta know, how do you create these? Like there's got to be so much involved with trying to figure out, or is it something simple like, okay, you just do a radial spline with a like an offset or something?
So this is again based on the ideas that John Edmark pioneered, this golden angle zoetrope concept. And this was made so that it would actually work if you made it in real life. So if you go to the next post, because it's crazy. So I showed that to Chris, and if you go all the way to the end, the last one.
Ooh, golden one. Nice.
Oh, yeah. We made some on Tezos, too.
Oh, there you
go.
Oh, wow.
I showed him the render, and I was like, yeah. He's like, dude, we should print that. I'm like, dude, there are 200 penguins. There's no way that you're going to be able to take off all the supports. He's like, I'll redesign it so you don't need supports. And, like, he redesigned it so there were little supports under the wings that would hold it, that were small enough.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we lose him?
Maybe.
Man, all the tech problems.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. We lost you for a second.
I don't know why it's doing that.
I was wondering, though, like,
anyway.
if he would have, there's a support system you can buy. Like, if you have a dual extruding head on a 3D printer or whatever, you can actually...
Like, the meltable ones,
the meltable, dissolvable, water-soluble supports.
Yeah, we thought about doing something like that, but his printer is, you know, he just has that.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah.
The single head printer. I think also he was saying that like those printers, you need to keep them in a very specific environment or something, because if there's any moisture in the air, it won't work and it'll melt before it prints or something.
Yeah. I haven't tried it yet.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool because something like this, you could do all those little supports for those little mini penguins. And then just like put it in the water.
And just melt them away.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
So like jumping back to that, how do you create these though? How are you doing them in C4D?
Totally.
Like, is it literally a helix or whatever?
It's a Mograph. It's a cloner. It's just a
cloner.
It's a radial cloner, and every new clone is the golden angle degrees away. So it puts each one around, and then it also, I think, increases the scale slightly. So it gets bigger as it goes out. I'd have to look at the exact setup because I also have it so the individual ones scale down as they get to the edge.
Yeah.
But it's basically like there's a cloner that's distributing them every, you know, I think it's 135.7 or 137.50. It's like a very specific number. But yeah, it's distributing them that distance every time and pushing them out slightly. And then I have another cloner that I think that's scaling them bigger and then smaller, something like that.
But now in real life, if you want to see this, you either need a strobe light or a phone. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For the regular one, you can strobe light or a phone.
Camera.
That one, or a camera. That crazy one, it was like we had to put the camera settings super. He got some app to like go into his camera and make the shutters angle like half a degree or something.
Yeah.
Because it's spinning at like almost 700 RPM.
Right.
Like it's really, really fast. Like
That's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't give away the files for that one because we're like, no, that's a liability.
You kill someone.
But also, you need we were like, how are we going to spin this? Because you have to spin it at such an exact speed. It has to go. So basically, the idea is every new instance, you know, every new penguin is the golden angle apart, which is like 135 degrees or something. And then every frame, the camera has to spin that exact distance.
Right.
So then every time the new frame is in the same place, you know, and you get the animation. So
and how do you get a special motor for that, or?
Yeah, so he talked to a friend of his who is into like RC airplanes or something like that, and he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, so you got to get this kind of motor and this kind of thing, and you can control it with this knob." And so him and his friend put that together, and then Chris 3D printed like an enclosure for the motor, and then like a plug for the thing. Like he's a wizard.
Dude is a genius.
Dude is a genius. He's probably the smartest guy I know. He's brilliant. He's just like on another level. But yeah, that was a really, really fun project to put together with him because it was just all problem solving and it was like a new medium that I'd never messed with. And it was great. And then it was fun to mess with people too because they didn't know what was real and what wasn't.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you got Matt.
So
that's
what if
I'm
someone...
all about. I just want to gaslight my audience.
See, what you need to do is you need to release now, like Beeple has done, a physical piece that you can sell at Christie's, right? Of the actual physical, zoetrope. You know, that'd be pretty sick.
I have all those zoetropes left over. You know, he was like, "I'm gonna throw these out." I'm like, "No, I'll take them."
Yeah.
I got them all in my closet. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. But yeah, maybe give them. I think I want to like donate them to like NFT museums or something.
Yeah.
Those, I feel like those physical NFT spaces that are popping up, like that'd be a cool thing to have there.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I'll hold on to them for now.
Yeah.
Full time is right.
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty fun.
So what are you working on next?
Yeah.
Next, let's see. So the most recent thing was this 5 Penguins announcement, and that promo video in itself is an NFT. And it's going to be the first of a series of like 5 Penguins parties, which is going to be fun. I'm going to make these different environments where like the penguins are going to be, watching the 5 Penguins loops, and I'll show different, different collectors loops on the wall and stuff.
It reminds me of like something Smearballs would do with his characters, or did do with his characters, right? They're all having a party.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really cool. So that's in the works. I'm also working on my upcoming Nifty Gateway drop, which is in April.
Cool.
So I'm grinding that out, and then
you just released HODL to all the
Yes.
1 year hodlers.
Oh my
You
God.
know, which I got. I was
sitting
very
on that
excited
for a
about.
year. I made that a year ago, and I was like, I'm going to give it to him in a year. And then I
Yeah.
just
Nice.
thought about it a lot since then. So
Yeah.
it's good to have it finally off my chest.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird. I saw that initially on that drop, and I was like, who's buying this? What is this? You know, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And then it was mine.
Yeah.
Who knew?
There you go. It was yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, I thought it'd be fun to do like a reward to the people who held on to it, who got it because they wanted it and didn't get it to flip it.
Sure.
So that was really fun. I have a drop with Pack coming up. His Metamorphosis drop.
Oh, nice.
That's going to be amazing. I think he's got 30 artists in it, and they're like big time artists.
Yeah.
So really humbled to be a part of that. That's going to happen sometime this month, I believe. But yeah, Nifty Gateway thing is what I'm working on now, and I have another project, a super rare release. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it. It's sort of with anyway.
It's okay. Nobody watches.
Yeah, nobody watches the show anyway.
But yeah, I'm working on that too. I think that's the main stuff.
Yeah.
And then I have like 1,000 other ideas for things that I'm like sort of chipping away at, and then I'll announce them as they come to fruition. The ones that actually do come to fruition.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot that doesn't. There's a lot that I tinker with and then end up discarding.
All right. How about this?
Yeah.
I will help you create the beautiful like golden and marble stuff, and then we together will sell it at Christie's.
Sounds great. Let's
All right,
do it.
let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Oh.
A marble.
Oh boy.
Look who's
Look
here.
who it is.
Oh.
Look who it is.
It's airdrop
bird.
ostrich. The
Airdrop ostrich.
the collector bird.
Right.
Yeah, the collector bird. Yeah,
Hello, collector bird.
What's that? Oh, he said he showed up because you're his favorite equine NFT creator. That means horse,
Equine.
right? Oh, okay. Do you have anything that you need to say to Gavin? What are you doing here?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, he's got a joke for you.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. All right. He said, how does Gavin Shapiro get the ideas for his NFTs? He wings it.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I do.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you like wanna like ask Gavin like besides a joke? Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm not gonna ask him that. No. Okay. He wants to know if you ever plan on making any ostrich NFTs.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have thought about that as a possible bird. They're very expressive, like the flamingo. They're like a wizened, hardened flamingo in a way. It's like more dinosaur-like or something.
Yeah.
So
where'd he go?
It's not out of the realm of possibility. Where did he go?
Yeah.
He's
gone.
It's
Thanks,
like those
shy collectors.
They just,
super stoked and
Oh man, they always they're so shy. Freaking collectors, man. Yeah. There's no okay bye like Dorpy,
Right.
Yeah.
You never know when he
Just
leaves.
disappears. His Irish goodbye, ostrich goodbyes.
the ostrich goodbye.
Gosh.
The ostrich goodbye.
Yeah.
Who are you,
Oh,
some of your
boy.
favorite artists?
Right.
Do you
Oh,
collect
man.
as well?
Yeah, I collect art. I'm a bit of an art collector myself.
Right.
Some of my favorite artists. Okay, let me see. I have like lists of these. Let's
just go to your profile and I'll start reading off who
Right.
you've got.
Oh, here.
Let's find his
Let's
wallet.
go to Oh no. Let me see what I got here.
You got 40 of them. Yeah.
I got 40.
Yeah. Got some rhymes like dimes.
Oh
some
yeah.
Shams.
That's
A bunch of yours.
All right, what are you looking at,
Let's
Matt?
see.
Looking at Nifty Gateway.
Oh
okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
Nifty. So I put a lot more stuff on hardware wallet. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my favorite artists right now is this guy. I'm probably going to say his name wrong. Hadi Tabasi.
Mm-hmm.
He's an incredible animator. How can I send this to you?
Just put the link in the dingus in the Skype dingus. Yeah, I can bring it up.
Let's see. Let me like get to his page.
Is it HADDI? Is that
here?
That sounds familiar.
This guy right here. One of like the smoothest animators I've ever seen. Just really like expressive animations, like a lot of personality.
Totally.
And I totally
that elephant
love his
walk
work.
one is so
Elephant's
cool.
so good, right?
Oh, look
so much style. So I got his camel walk. That was like the first of this animal series.
That's cool.
And he's been starting to blow up lately. Like it seems like everything he puts up, it just gets a bid and sells immediately.
That's amazing.
So his work is just really good. It's like this one that he just did a gorilla. Really cool stuff. So I love his work
cycle. Oh man.
Do you know Tony Babel? I think it is.
That's great. Yep.
Big fan of his work.
Tony Babel is awesome. He's doing very well. I also love this guy. This is Kinetic Graphics. He's been really making some mind-blowing stuff. He does a lot of interesting scale loops.
Wow. Is this like infinite?
This goes forever, So it's scaling up like almost imperceptibly, so it just sort of goes forever.
Wow.
So his work's incredible.
That's gorgeous. That's like
gorgeous, right? I also love this guy. Here's another one.
Oh, that's so
this
crazy.
Guy, Retard. I think Matthias.
I think I've seen this one. Yeah.
His work is very cool. If you go to his profile, you'll like see that his style is just so immediately recognizable.
Wow.
And that's what I love about some artists. Like when I find an artist that I love, it's usually because they have a style that only they can do.
Yeah.
It's like you look at it, and it's immediately recognizable, and it's also just unique, and it's theirs, and no one else. And they're also very technically skilled. It's like this is like virtuosic ability. Like it's just so good and so unique.
I love this bird bro. That's
right.
That's awesome.
So it's such beautiful work. It's really unique. So those are some artists on my radar right now.
Amazing.
Who I think could use deserve a little more attention than they're getting.
A little love.
Yeah.
A little love. And then I also love like the OG looping guys like Arbin. I can't pronounce his last name.
Oh.
Vasiliou or something. He's like an OG looping guy. And then Andreas Wannerstedt's great. Oscar Peterson, I love his work. Who else? Let's see.
I'm going to follow all these people because this is so cool.
This guy too. Matt Taylor. Matt Taylor's awesome.
Matt Taylor, I don't know that one.
Matt Taylor's great. He hasn't released stuff in a while, I think. But he's just one of those guys who's like so technically skilled.
Oh my gosh.
Just like if you go to his page, he has this thing called Improbawall, which went viral a few years ago for just being absolutely bonkers.
Dang, that is so good. Like it's
so cool, right?
Is the focal length changing as well?
I don't even know. I can't explain it.
That hurts my brain.
So much.
I can't even explain it.
God, the whole focal length, it's like it's a fisheye lens, kind of, but then it changes. Wow. I can't even imagine what it takes to figure out that math. Good Lord.
A lot of Houdini. A lot of Houdini.
Yeah.
And then I'm in love with Rich Lord. His work is incredible. His stuff is another one of those where it's like, it's so unique and it's like no one else can do this stuff, like no one else could do it and it would look like an imitation. Like his stuff is just technically like complicated and bizarre, but also it's all very organic.
That makes me feel uneasy.
Yeah. I love it. He is absolutely brilliant. So I really
feeling a little phallic there, but
he did. He did this cool, this infinite caterpillar thing the other day, which is really cool. All this stuff is like very procedural Houdini, KinFX kind of stuff.
Oh, I saw this one. So beautiful.
Yeah, he's really, really good. Really, really good.
Great, man.
So that's some of the stuff that I've been getting into lately.
I dig it. I dig it a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of work out there. A lot of really great artists, you know.
There are.
Super talented people.
Yep.
Super, super talented. Yeah.
Awesome.
Anybody else have any questions in the chat?
Yeah. Anybody? If not, we should get back to the regular show. But in the drop, anyone who's doing any drops, if y'all have any drops, feel free to email us info@mograph.com. We'll show it on the show. Yeah, great stuff, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get back to the regular show.
Let's do it. All right.
Sweet.
Drop. Is this the fucking mic? Drop. This is exactly what I should be doing.
Gavin, thank you so much for talking to us and taking some time while we work through all our technical difficulties.
Yeah,
today.
man.
Oh, of course.
Somehow we held that together. I don't know how we held it together.
It's all good.
We did a show.
I was anxious that I would make a mistake, you know, so the fact that you guys did is really a weight off my shoulders.
Technically, we didn't make the mistake. AT&T did.
That's true. That's true. They were supposed to let me know before they did that.
Yeah.
But you know how that goes.
Yeah.
So it goes.
I wanted to do. We're changing some things with the show here. We're gonna do some new stuff here, you know, in the next couple months. Add a few new segments and things. Kind of mix it up a little bit. So I wanted to do a segment maybe called "By the Way," which is at the end of the show, just remind you about things coming up because I don't know. Sometimes we put a bunch of stuff at the beginning, and you know, I know how people are with podcasts. I just want to get to the interview. I'll just skip to the interview, and you didn't hear these parts. So, by the way, there is no show next week.
Yeah, I'll be in Hawaii.
Spring break. Woo!
Yeah.
So Matt will be
at the
in
beach.
Hawaii. We're gonna be taking some time off. Make sure you do it daily and tag us in it next week. You know, we're gonna miss you. I'm just gonna veg out and not do anything. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'll be working. We've got something that I might do every once in a while, not every week, because I don't want to have to think about it. I don't want to become a chore. But when it comes up, the question of the week, and if anybody wants to send in some questions of the week, I'll put it in the queue.
Gosh.
The question of the week is, this is from Jags. Okay. Are there more doors or more wheels on the planet Earth?
Oh my God.
Yeah, right.
It makes you think about it, right?
Yeah, but the whole question is what are you considering a wheel? You know, if it's a tire or a wheel for transportation or
a
something.
hot dog is a sandwich kind of thing.
Right.
What
if
a conversation
you're talking
starter.
about cogs and gears and stuff, oh yeah, there's no question there's more wheels. But if you're talking about just wheels, as in tires and stuff, I would say doors.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'll let you think about it. I'll have the answer for you next week.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. I'm just kidding.
He's got to go count them all.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll be back, guys. Hold on a second.
I'm looking at cars out my window. I'm like, every car has 4 wheels, but also 4 doors.
Right.
So
What
doors.
about 8?
Or
5
6.
doors.
Does
The
the hood
trunk.
count?
Yeah. Oh,
See?
totally. It's a door, right?
Man, that's a tough.
What about
Every
the top of the
every
box?
car almost cancels itself out with the amount of doors. And are you also considering glove compartment doors?
Yeah, is that a door?
Are those doors? Is that a door? I
And
don't know.
every house has a bunch of doors, but you gotta think there's probably more wheels than doors in every house when you think about it.
If you're talking about gears and stuff like that,
Even wheels in
every
general.
door probably has some sort of wheel or
What about the
something
hinges?
inside the.
Does a hinge count as
I
a
don't
wheel?
think a hinge is a wheel.
I don't think the hinge.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. All right.
Call
So
scruples
hinges
on that
aren't
one.
wheels, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, my chair that I'm in has 5 wheels because it's OSHA compliant. So,
Right.
that's 5 right there.
Houses don't have wheels.
There's wheels in the houses, though.
Oh, Joe, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah.
What is
What
it
is your life?
for?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be up at night thinking about that instead of my
Uh-oh.
tequila drop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right.
take the load off. a
Doors,
little bit.
doors turning into wheels, turning into doors.
It's those impossible things to like. What's the sentence I heard this week on TikTok? That is the impossible sentence. More Americans have been to Ukraine than I have.
It's true. Yes.
Is it?
Then
More
more-
Americans have been to Ukraine than I have.
Oh yeah, that's
What does that sentence actually mean? Think about it.
That means that.
it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Well,
you have
It's a
been.
sentence that works grammatically, but doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
Wow.
Gavin, thank you for being
And on that.
And if people want to,
Kevin's gonna crawl on his floor. Just no,
All right,
why not
well,
go on the show?
See you guys later.
if people want to find you online, where can they
Yeah.
find you?
Twitter is Shapiro500. Instagram is Shapiro500. You can also go to gavinshapiro.com. That's just like all my work, artwork and client work, demo reel, a little bit of everything. Yeah, that's enough. From those you can find out everything about me.
Get in touch with you, harass you, stalk you,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah, yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
All right, well, we're going to get out of here. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review on your podcatcher choice. Help us get our ratings up. Leave a little review, subscribe, and subscribe to our newsletter. You get updates every month about what we've been up to, the articles and new shows, all the stuff you may have missed. And you can say you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Feel the Bab 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. And you got the Render Things T-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee, the Mograph Blandishment shirt, and of course, the That Render is Fire T-shirt, which you are only allowed to wear ironically, unless you're shams. Yes. And we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Hi, TikTok. Anybody want? Yeah,
Hello,
a couple
TikTok.
people there. All right. On TikTok and
Hello, TikTok.
mograph.com. Check us out. Make sure you put on that Mograph TV, turn it on, and yank the knob off. Rip the knob off.
Yeah.
Mograph TV. Yeah. And that's pretty
Right.
much all I got. Until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Gavin.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
See ya.